Hello and welcome to Crypto Weeklies. In this video, we are going to discuss Cosmos and its token Atom, conduct machine learning based price forecast, regression analysis, crypto sentiment analysis, and much more. If you like this content, please give us a like and subscribe. And also, none of the content is financial advice. Let's get started. The chart that you are seeing on the screen is available on cryptoweeklies.com. The link on the bottom of your screen. This is the web page or the website for all of the analytics that we'll be sharing. It's all for free. You don't have to pay or watch any ads. So let's get started. Over the last 24 hours or so, the social sentiment in the crypto market derived by our machine learning model looks at major crypto related news over the last 24 hours and codifies each of the classifies each of the news into bullish, bearish, or neutral. You can see a lot of bullish news coming over the last 24 hours, some bearish news, but mostly bullish or neutral. The overall sentiment score is at around 86. That means bulls are back. You can see and corroborate that with the rise in the crypto market over the last 24 hours, of which Cosmos and its token Atom are the primary recipient of the rally, with rally more than 11% in its token. You can see over here on our performance barometer available on the heat map section. The first analytics that we saw was under crypto TLDR on the website. This website gets updated every day with new indicators as the latest score on these indicators and the latest performance heat map. Right now, again, dot and atom were the most rallying over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days also, atom is at number 2 spot, rallied by about 17% over the last 30 days, and 90 days most of the cryptos are down on their USD pair. Let's analyze atom a bit more in terms of tokenomics. The circulating supply and total supply is one and the same, so that means all of the inflation that occurs is due to a set schedule of token based inflation, and no new token unlocks. It's running on an inflation based schedule. So even though there are newer tokens released over the last year or so, you can see the performance with respect to the price and market cap goes hand in hand. That means whatever growth or lack of growth occurs in the market cap, again a series of lower lows, again the latest one being on 11th of March. You can see similar story in terms of market cap and price, series of lower lows, the latest one being at around 11th of March. So market cap and price going hand in hand, which is a good sign. If we look at Cosmos and its token Atom and conduct machine learning based price forecast at a week using weekly price action data, again over here we can see that on its USD pair, firstly these are the weekly candles. For machine learning algorithm, what we have used is weekly average price to train that algorithm using seasonal ARIMA, LSTM, and XGBoost in-house developed algorithm. We are not doing any AI prompting or simple analytics using some large language model. These are personally developed by me as a seasoned data analyst and data scientist in the industry. So let's analyze what the machine learning model holds for Atom in the coming 6 months. If there are 3 scenarios that could happen in the market, the prices can either go up, down, or sideways. So those are the majorly what could happen to an risk asset, again apart from bankruptcy and all. So if we were to analyze what is theoretically a bull case for Atom, these machine learning based price forecast do help understand what is with respect to some of the confidence levels, such as 68th percentile, which is 1 standard deviation confidence. What is that bull case? What is the 1 standard deviation bottom likely for Atom? For the bull case, the machine learning model in over the last 6 months, looking forward the next 6 months, forecasts a price for Atom at around price between $4.37 and $8, roughly speaking $8 over the next 6 months. If on the other hand, if there is a euphoria in the market and the price does rally to the 2 standard deviation or 95 percentile confidence level trajectory, the ceiling for Atom in the next 6 months could be between roughly speaking $4.90 and $17.33. So that's the machine learning side of like positive side for Atom. The base case which helps identify the direction of Atom. So for this model, if all things are equal, the likely price action for Atom is a motion, sideways motion with series of lower lows, potentially between $3.81 and $3.72. So that's the prediction, and again can't blame the model for this because Atom has been in a free fall since the early January 2022, when back then the price was at around $40 at a weekly average. If on the other hand we lean towards the technical side of things and have that hypothesis that Atom is having its second meaningful bull run, firstly when it was launched, since it was launched in the pre-halving year of 2019, the first bull run was back in 2021 and now potentially in 2025, the second bull run. The key levels to watch per the Fibonacci levels based on the recent lows that Atom did have at around $3.80. Again, one could say that if we ignore the wick, that was kind of like a double bottom since September of 2024. The first major area of resistance was close to the point, will most likely close to the 0.23 fib level. Before that, the 20-week simple moving average and 21-week exponential moving average do offers a level of resistance. Those are between $5.57 and $6.13. If Atom rallies beyond that and holds those levels as support in the future corrections, then the second level to watch is at around $13.50 and after that around $19.50. And the 0.5 fib level, which could be a midpoint or kickstart the, if there is a euphoria, that the place that euphoria phase could possibly kickstart is at around $24.33. So those are the 3 to 4 levels to watch for Atom. In terms of if there is a continued correction in the market, per this model, Atom could double test its March 2020 lows that it created when the price was at around $2, between $2 and $3.50. That's the machine learning based downside for Atom. If now we analyze the regression based valuation, per this valuation, it's looking more bullish. The fair value, which is drawn in this line in pink along the weekly candles for Atom, helps identify what is a fair value for regression based fair value for Atom, and in a non-linear fashion, that is during the bull case or the bullish scenarios, the fair value goes up with time, whereas in the bear market it goes down with time. To understand, most of the altcoin do exhibit this oscillation pattern where they go up during the bull market and have a severe correction, and that lasts for multiple years in the bear market. So right now the fair value for Atom comes at around $7.88. It's per this per this regression based fair value estimation, Atom is even lower than its 1 standard deviation residual applied to the fair value. So if you look at the times where the price was trading below the green line, you are essentially looking at when major lows for Atom occurred. After that, either the price mean reverted back to the fair value or even went higher. So for example, over here it went higher than fair value back in 2020. In 2022, even in June bottom of 2022, the price did go and test the fair value. So if that were to replicate the fair value, if that fair value is again an increasing function, because we are in a bull market per this model, the price could meet the fair value when the fair value is somewhere between $8.50 and $9 if the rally for Atom were to continue. On the other hand, if there is a euphoria in the market, again the last time in December 2024 there was a euphoria, that you could evidence that by looking at this chart, and whenever the price goes above the yellow line, you would see that there is a euphoria in the market. The last time it lasted, that is in December 2024, particularly for Atom, it lasted only for 3 to 4 days, and then there was a correction early January. If there were a rally back to that euphoria phase in, let's say, middle of April of 2025, the price could be somewhere between $12 and $13. Now currently it's at around $11.86. So on the other hand, if the prices were to, like they did, correct back to when the price rallied in March of 2024, they corrected at the end of the euphoria phase, close to the blow off top at 2 standard deviation or 95 percentile residual applied to the fair value. Right now that level is coming in at around $18, which coincides with perfectly with the machine learning based price forecast for Atom that we just saw. The 2 standard deviation level comes at around $17.32. Again, both the machine learning based model and the regression which are models which are exclusive of each other, which do not share any data points, they are both telling a similar story, that if Atom were to top out in a short term, that top could be at around $18. Again, this function is an increasing function, so let's say it's 3 to 6 months. If the top is in late June or even later than that, somewhere around October or December, then this 2 standard deviation ceiling could well be about $25. And again, that would take Atom to this midpoint off from the previous market cycle high at around $44. Now potentially in this market cycle at 0.5 fib level at around $25. So that's the bullish side of things for Atom. If we look at the accumulation based risk at this point in time, the simple moving average based price color coded with respect to the simple moving average based risk, and color coded in such a way that the cooler colors share the lower risk, such as blue and purple, whereas the high risk are in yellow to red. Right now the risk for Atom, accumulating Atom, is at around 27% per this model. The last time, that is in December, 6th of December of 2024, the risk level went to 56%. If they were to go back to 56%, so somewhere between the price could be somewhere between $21 and $23 per this model. So that is again one estimation. If the hypothesis is there would be a phase of the market cycle where Atom does go as overvalued as it went back on 6th of December. On the other hand, if there is a hypothesis that there is a higher high in play potentially, the risk levels at that point in time could be between like they were back in December 2021, November December time period 2021, when the risk kind of overshot that 75-76%. So if we were to look between the $25 and $27, that could be a moderate end of the peak for Atom per this model. On the other hand, if we take into consideration the DCA model, which is derived from the fair value that we just saw at a weekly level, this is price color coded with respect to that fair value. And again, this model did identify some of the best time to DCA in and out of the market. So what I will do is I'll get rid of the risk band between 0.2 and 0.5. So and help understand both when per this model when it's a great time to DCA out of the model, when the prices are in this color code between yellow and red, whereas the opposite side is whenever they are substantially lower than the regression based value. Again, you're based on your own risk tolerance. Again, this model helps identify the best time to DCA when the risks are lower than 10%, or if you want to go slightly more risky, then risk lower than 20%. Again, right now the risks per this model are exactly at around 10%, when the price is at around $4.30. So per this model, if the risks were to go back to, let's say, this blow off top kind of environment where the risks go more than 60%, between 60 and 80%, per this model, this is a more conservative model that could signal a top between $12.60 and about 70, roughly speaking, $16.30. So closer to that $17 target per the 2 standard deviation forecast on the regression model as well as on the machine learning model. So that's, and if you were to overlay a 2 standard deviation regression peak on this model, again you could see that the euphoria phase usually and the blow off top phase usually occurs whenever the price goes above the dotted line. So right now that the dotted red line is coming in at around $15. In 2 to 3 months from here, that the dotted line could well be at around $17. So that's one way to estimate. In terms of the time weighted average price, helps identify accumulation zone for atom, provided the underlying hypothesis that the underlying asset, that is atom, has one more bullish leg in upcoming cycles. Accumulating below the time weighted average price, which is this blue line, is definitely not the worst idea historically speaking. In the recovery, after the recovery of an asset, looking back, the time weighted average price, whenever the price is trading below that, becomes an accumulation zone, retroactively speaking. Right now the time weighted average price is coming in at around $10.70. That means atom has been in an accumulation zone, which couple of fake outs over here, essentially since May of 2022, when the price went for the first time sub $12. Now it's even at lower end of the spectrum at around $4.45. So taking a weighted average of all of these risk based model to identify what could be a risk reward based estimation for atom, this is a more liberal model. Again, it tries to account for the blow off top, and that potentially for atom could be, per this model, with a weighted risk of about 10%, is the blow off top price target could be at around $40. Again, if you are more conservative and if you believe that the price could only reach between 60 to 80% of this $40 target, then the 60 percentile or 60% bull case is at around $25. Again, if you take it roughly speaking, 60% of 40, that is at around $24. If you add a bit for that 89 cents, then the price could be the 60 percentile could be well at around $25, and the 80 percentile could be at around $32. So that again coincides with the 0.5 fib and 0.618 fib levels for atom, and that represents about a 9x. If the blow off top scenario were to occur, and prices go to at around $41, then that represents about a 9x from the current price. If on the other hand they only reach about $25, that is still a 5x from the current price, little over 5x, between 5x and 7x. So with that, I would like to conclude the video. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe if you did, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.